Hi, YouTube family, daughter of the Most High. Happy Friday night. Saturday morning when I look at the clock. Hope you had a wonderful week. Looking forward to the weekend as usual. We have some nice weather coming this weekend, so I'm really excited about that. It's going to be in the mid-50s. Yay! That's going to be wonderful. I want to show you, my daughter just came in probably about 5 minutes ago and showed me what she said. I bought you something. So look, little jammer top. Isn't that cute? With Snoopy. And while I'm at it, or while she's at it, one of the two, right? She bought me these months ago. They're so dang cute. Look at these. These are my jammer pants. They're all carrying part of the scarf. She also bought me a blanket with this same picture on them. And it's black and white check. I'll show you another time. I'm not going to go get it. It is actually on my bed folded up. But yeah, with the Snoopy with the red scarf and then 3 Woodstock. So it's so cute. She keeps me in Snoopy, so that's really good. And it's always nice to be thought of too when she's walking through Target, right? So earlier tonight, I was watching a video, actually 2 videos by John Hagee. And the first one is called, oh gosh, where is it now? My video's flipped around. It's Coronavirus, Dress Rehearsal for the New World Order. And that was posted June 2020. And that one is really good. And John is so thorough and so knowledgeable in his teachings and in the Word of God. And he's one of the few pastors that actually is teaching what's going on in the world and what's in the near future. And I have to tell you, I'm so shocked that so many pastors are not teaching about what's going on, about, the current situation, like coronavirus, dress rehearsal for the New World Order. We know that already, don't we? Not all believers do, but, the people that watch my channel know it. The second video John posted about 3 months ago, and it's similar. They overlap a bit. It's some of the same information, of course, because he's talking about the New World Order. And that's what it's called, the New World Order. And so I will put, pardon me, both links in the description box for you to watch. Again, he is such a thorough and knowledgeable teacher of the Word. I really enjoy listening to John. Now, I know some people are, question John Hagee because he is considered a prosperity preacher. And I believe in the second video that there's actually even a 30 or 45 second commercial partway through the video about, giving and how the Lord prospers us through our giving. And I believe that's true. But that might throw some people because he is known as a prosperity preacher. He is a really strong biblical teacher. He wrote the 4 Blood Moons. He wrote many books. So he's not just a prosperity preacher, but he does preach on that as well. So again, I'm just encouraging you not to let that throw you because he is very knowledgeable in the Word. So if just skip past that commercial, I believe it's on the second one. I believe the first video has some teaching on healing and a resource offer on that. So, but back to the New World Order. John is very thorough in his teaching on that, and it's such a good teaching, and he teaches a lot. And whenever he teaches, there's a lot of information in a short amount of time. So the video is only it's less than 30 minutes. It's like 28 and a half minutes. And he's just, I mean, he's in his 80s and he's still as sharp as a tack when he preaches. And I consider him very anointed. Now, there is another issue with John Hagee that I'm not sure if might also be a concern of yours, is I have heard that his marriage to Donna is a second marriage. And I don't know a lot about this. I have not researched it, but I have heard that. And I got like a little hair poking my eye. Something's poking my eye. Hang on. There we go. And so that's actually a second marriage, which would make it an adulterous marriage. Now, I don't know if he found out that his first wife was married before, which would make their marriage not a covenant marriage, or if he and his first wife are covenant spouses, then he is in adultery. So the marriage covenant is till death. So if John is, I've prayed for him before because I'm aware of this. I have so many things that I'm interested in watching and learning about that I have not researched John Hagee's history. So if you have, you can share about that. But yeah, so I don't know if that's the case or not. It would break my heart if it was, because we know 1 Corinthians 6, 9 through 10 and Galatians 5, 19 through 21 talk that, both state that adulterers will not see the kingdom of God. So John Hagee spends his whole life studying the word and teaching the word and leading his church and all the stuff he's done to end up in hell because of an adulterous marriage. I hope that's not the case. So I encourage you to pray for him as well. That just breaks my heart. I know, well, I'm not going to go off on that whole thing because that's a subject that is just so difficult because most churches don't teach that. So I'm actually surprised that John Hagee is knowledgeable in the word as he is. If he is in a second marriage, I don't know what he's thinking. So anyway, but let's focus on the New World Order and the teaching, and I think you'll really enjoy it. And I also want to share one other thing. I have continued to watch a lot of van life and car life and all that kind of stuff, videos. And I'm hoping that I can retire in the next year or two. I'm not saying retire forever because I don't even have retirement. I have equity in my house. And, but I really want to explore the U.S. while I'm, youngish and healthy. Now, you might think 60 is not young. You know what? This girl does pretty much what I did even 15 years ago. I mean, I've hung on to my youth, and I love to bike and hike and walk my dogs and do everything. But we never know what's ahead, whether it's my own personal health issues. I don't have any, but I mean in the future, or if it's something that happens to our nation. We know there are things on the docket that are going to happen. And so I don't want to miss out on like that special, like retirement, less work focused week. I work so much now, and so I'm hoping I can make that change. And then after I was actually able to do some traveling and stuff, I would work like part-time again, 25, maybe even 30 hours a week. I'm an active, motivated worker person. And even though I turned 60 in January, I mean, it's still go time. So I'm just hoping that some of my go can be to personal interests and not necessarily always work. And I do like my work. I really like my work, and I like my current job a lot. It's one of the best jobs I've had. So I'm kind of not too sure about leaving a job that I really like to go traveling for, 3 or 4 months. That's kind of my plan, like in a year to go traveling like next winter. And I don't know, or if I should just work straight up till I'm 62, I don't know. So I know things are going to change, and I believe they're going to change, all of a sudden. And I would be sad if I lost my, my special like retirement, or, not retirement, but like, semi-retired time. I think some people transition into it. So, because I probably will work for at least part-time for quite a few years since I don't have retirement. One other thing I want to share about that actually popped into my mind when I was talking about van life, is that John Hagee shares about that his belief that the church is going to be raptured, I believe, at the beginning of the tribulation. And as I've shared before, I don't know that that's the truth. Again, there's various views on it. We all know that. And John's view happens to be pre-trib. So I just wanted to share that too. As believers, especially, I don't know about you, but I have, and just in chatting with people in Facebook groups and different things like that, I have never had so many like differing opinions on like the Christian faith and what's going on in the earth and different things like that. I've had Christian friends take the vaccine, a couple of them. It's like, I'm shocked by it. And if you have, I don't mean to be offensive to you, but I don't agree with the vaccine. I believe it's part of the end time agenda. You can stop now. You don't have to get the second one. You don't have to do any more. I believe you can repent of it. So there's just so much in this time. You can just so tell it's the end time. I was going to say end time events, but it's the end times. And so many things going on and so many changes. So, which kind of leads me back to my van life. It's like I see things changing so rapidly. It makes me think, well, maybe I won't work so long. So I don't know. But I'm praying about a vehicle. I don't have a van. I'm not a van driver. And that's kind of what I'm thinking of. And then once I actually get a van, I have to like take out like the second seat. I'm not sure because I'm not a van person how it works, but you take out the seats and then you choose a place to like, put some boards and, so you've got like your board and then you put your bed on top of that and then you can put storage underneath it. And you have to have heat and you have to have some cooling, like as far as for your food and things like that. You got to have a hot plate of some sort. You have to have, so I haven't started a notebook yet and taken notes. And I mentioned that before. I got to start doing that and I still haven't. But I'm going to start taking notes of what I want to put in my van. And so I want to keep my house. I want to, keep my vehicle and then hopefully buy a van and then do the renovation on the inside. And then I want to do some traveling and see if I actually, what concerns me? Not the daytime traveling. What concerns me? The sleeping at truck stops, street, sleeping in rest stops, that kind of thing. But there are so many women. I mean, pardon me, I had a little froggy. I had to go get a drink of water. There are so many women, and I mean older women and women that are not as like active as I am, that are, like meaning like I could run or fight somebody off. That's what I'm talking about. I have watched videos of women with disabilities that are living van life. And sometimes they began because they're like me. I had that whole situation, with he's technically my covenant spouse, but I still call him my ex because I don't want that whole thing, but, what happened with child support and all that kind of stuff. So he actually ripped me off financially in a lot of ways. And so I am not in the financial place that most 60-year-olds are in. And some of these women, that's their case too. And I was watching about I'm froggy. There was one woman that she got a TBI and her husband ended up leaving her and they lost their house and she lost everything and she ended up in a van. But she loves her van life. She loves traveling around. So, and I just found her channel today too. And so I'm really excited to watch her. She doesn't seem to know the Lord, but she's got a wonderful spirit about her. So I was going to like leave in the comments, do you know the Lord? Are you a believer? Because she's just like super sweet and just has a wonderful spirit about her. But I've only watched like 2 videos so far, and she doesn't mention anything about the Lord. And believers, we mention the Lord in every video we ever do. So even about van life, But back to my point, I am all over the, not only do I have a froggy, but I'm all over the place today. But, so she considers herself dealing with a disability, and she's enjoying van life. So that gives me encouragement, that wherever she sleeps, it's usually truck stops and rest stops and parks and stuff like that. And, as women, I don't want to was thinking of buying a gun. Not that I would want, or probably, I would have a hard time even shooting someone. I'd have to be pretty afraid, because I'm just somebody that doesn't, I just despise any kind of abuse, any kind of violence, any kind of anything. But I suppose if somebody was coming after me, maybe I could muster it up. It's just not in my natural being at all. But maybe I'll get a gun. I don't know. So, but there's just so much to think about. But there are so many women that are living van life. It's so exciting. My age and older, and, different levels of health and fitness at this age and that kind of thing. And as women, we always, even young girls and middle-aged women, we're always we've always got to be careful. If we're at work late, if we're walking at night late, if we're walking out to our car late, if we're go to the grocery store late, we're always watching our environment so that we're not going to get jumped, dragged, pulled into, a vehicle, that kind of stuff. And it's just something how we live. It's natural for us. It's not like we're, bugging out, looking around. We just know to be aware of our surroundings, and we have since pretty much we were 16. And for me, that gets really old. It's one of the things that I have resented in my life, maybe you do too, that I've had to be cautious my entire life because of rape. I've never been raped, thank heaven, but there is such a high percentage of women who have been. And it just breaks my heart. I feel like, well, again, I could go there. I can always go a lot of places. I won't go there. So anyway, so lots of concerns. And part of that would be, I would love to form some kind of Christian, nomad group, or, van life group. And maybe I'll create a separate YouTube page, YouTube, so that, when I'm at that stage of life, I can attract listeners or followers rather, that are interested in that. Because it would be wonderful to connect. It would be wonderful to even maybe travel to a few states together, or follow one another and camp at the same place. It'd be wonderful. And I enjoy all kinds of people. I enjoy their YouTube channels. But if I'm going to really connect with people, I want them to be people of faith. I want them to know the Lord, and to feel 100% connected and safe with, a group of travelers or van life people. That'd be wonderful. They have their get-togethers. They do. They meet at parks. Some of them do, some of them don't. So I've been watching this for quite a while now. It's pretty interesting to see who does what and how they do it. And there's only a couple of Christians in the mix so far. So maybe that'll be me that'll start that in a year or so, when I'm ready to go out on the road. I would love to have a van ready to go out by next January, and actually get out of my freezing state for one winter and just go traveling, south and west, and, I'm not sure where, all over, just to have that time to go traveling in the U.S. It'd be so wonderful, and maybe even meet up with some of the people that I know in other states, like you, John. Maybe I could go to Washington, or I have my friend Jody in Colorado, and I have my friend Bruce in Michigan. So it'd be fun to just like, show me your state, show me some stuff. And I have never camped or traveled or anything. I've only been to California and Colorado and, of course, Wisconsin. In my lifetime, travel has not been a part of my life. And so I'm not somebody that knows the state parks. I'd have to map out my journey and be like doing so, like, you know, somebody that really hasn't traveled at all. So I'd have to map all that out so I kind of could plan my trip and my week here and my week there and which parks and just all that kind of stuff. So it'd be kind of exciting. Not quite there yet, but definitely checking into it and enjoying all of that. So if there goes my, I don't have a cold, so I'm not sure what's going on. But anyway, thank you for listening. And if you have any comments about the videos with John Hagee, or about van life, or retirement, or when you think all this stuff's going to happen, if this was going to happen in just a couple years, I'd quit my job, next fall. I would. I have a little bit of money saved and I have money in my house. I want some free time before, especially before the mark of the beast and all of that stuff happens, or even with the vaccine. If we can't, already can't leave the U.S. without the vaccine. So what's next? So, yeah. Anyway, I'll stop there. My mind always goes in 1,000 different directions because there's so much going on. But I'll stop there. And maybe I'll see you this weekend. If I don't, have a wonderful weekend and I'll see you soon.